Hi, so welcome back to my channel. I kind of want to get back into the habit of making videos, so I decided why not do one about the toxic nature of fandom, specifically the My Hero Academia fandom. So before I start this video, let me start by saying this. Everything that I'm going to be talking about is not inherently unique to the My Hero Academia fandom. The reason I decided to talk about this fandom and specifically is because this is the one I'm most heavily involved in with at the moment. Since I started watching the show, like, I want to say back in May, and I just been seeing so much stuff about it on my TikTok, my Tumblr, Instagram, and stuff like that. So we're just going to start by it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the treatment of black people, other POCs too, but specifically black people, because it seems like so many people in the My Hero Academia fandom has such a huge problem with black people, specifically the cosplayers. So I'll give you an example of something I have seen a couple of times, and it's actually really sad. So this one person that I follow on TikTok, they have made a video about how, like, they don't particularly care for this one ship called Baku Deku, and the reasons they said they don't care for it is just because, like, the whole, Katsuki telling Izuki to kill himself. They're like, I can't really vibe with that, which is like, it's the same for me. Like, look, if they want to go back to being friends, best friends, something akin to brothers, that's cool by me. But a romantic relationship is like, I can't get into it because the whole, like, bullying in that one specific moment too. So, they stated their opinion. They didn't, like, shame anybody that did like the ship. They just said, like, I can't get into it for that reason. And instead of, like, reacting like rational adults, um, people weren't happy about it because, people in this fandom act like when you don't like their ship, and they got death threats. They got called slurs. For some reason, they got called ableist too, which doesn't make any sense because nothing they said was inherently ableist. So I don't know where that came from. But they just got a lot of shit for stating their opinion, and they ended up saying that they needed to take a break from TikTok for a little while because almost getting all that, and also they got threatened getting doxxed too. So there was that. It's a lot for somebody to take in, especially if you're a minor. So yeah, that's just one example out of the many times people in the My Hero Academia fandom has, like, gone overboard when it comes to the ships of, like, fictional characters. Um, it just seems like the amount of anti-blackness that's within this fandom is crazy because I just it baffles me. It shouldn't baffle me at this point because as a black person, I see it all the time and I see it so much. But at the same time, just like, y'all be really harassing people. Y'all be, like, really ready to low key ruin people's lives over a show, a fictional show where these people do not even exist in real life, and it gets tiring at some point. And once again, this isn't something inherently unique to My Hero. It's just something I've seen a lot in this fandom. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about when it comes to the My Hero fandom is the whole shipping thing. Now, if you like shipping characters in the show, that's not inherently the problem, obviously. If it's not, like, incestuous or pedophilic or just problematic in any other sort of way, I don't care what you ship because it's not that deep at the end of the day. It's something we do for fun. It shouldn't be a huge problem. It's just that some people in this fandom take this a little bit to heart when people say, I might not care for this ship, or this is the problem I have with this ship, or maybe they make, like, just a joke poking at the ship or whatever. And I think that because of how the internet is set up, how the internet works nowadays, and people have this tendency of really involving themselves into whatever characters media ships sometimes. And when somebody just makes a valid criticism towards this ship, or they're just poking fun at it, or they just say something that that person to you might not agree with, they kind of take it to heart as if you're saying something about this to their character. And there's an inherent problem with that. Like, there's nothing wrong if you have like a comfort character or a comfort ship or we're at that, but you have to differentiate that just because somebody might have a problem with this ship does not mean they have a problem with you as a person. And sometimes if you can't handle people giving criticisms to fictional media that you might like a lot, maybe you should like step back from the fandom as a whole and just take some time to really think about what you're saying and what you're about to do, because whatever you say or do to this person is not, when you look back on it 5 years from now, are you going to probably say that you did that over something that was not that serious? Like 5 years from now, are you even going to be into My Hero as you are right now? Probably not, because you're going to get older and you might grow out of this fandom. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like, you have to think about how you speak to people and how you interact with people over things that are not real. Just like take that into account. Okay, the next thing we're going to be talking about is edits. Now, when I'm talking about edits, it could be like maybe somebody edited a manga panel, or they might have actually animated the animated stuff from the anime, or some official art, or just they just edited something. Rather, it's like maybe the person's skin tone, or maybe they gave them piercings or whatever that is. Now, if I'm going to be real, the reason I even gave My Hero a chance is because I saw some like really good edits. Like, I knew it wasn't canon, but I really liked the edits. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll give this show a chance. And I got dragged into this hell, and I kind of wish I just stayed out of it at this point, because wow. Anyways, so some people in this fandom have a problem with people editing it stuff sometimes, and it's always like stupid fucking reasons too. Oh yeah, and fan art too. It's just like, let's take Momo for example. Like, let's say somebody draws Momo a bit chubbier, or maybe to give her stretch marks. People, especially the guys, will like lose their shit for no reason. Even though you're looking at it saying like, canon still exists. Like, it didn't just disappear because somebody drew Momo on a heavier side, or they gave her like darker skin. Like, every time somebody does like an alteration to Momo's looks or her body or whatever, like, the canon isn't slowly getting chipped away. It's still very much there. Like, it's right. It's okay. She's right there. She'll be fine. And even then, why are you like so pressed about it? Because people, I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but like, people be like so pressed over the stupidest things. Like, don't you got bills to pay? Like, don't you, I'm pretty sure you got like 20 missing homework assignments. Like, I feel like you have more important things to think about than what somebody is doing with some fan art on the internet. And also, I kind of wish I had like the same energy about people, maybe, I don't know, getting some characters darker skin, or skin piercings, or I don't know, just making them look different from each other, if we're being honest. Because like, I like the character design for My Hero, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of flat. It's kind of boring, honestly, except for a few characters. But I kind of wish that people would keep the same energy when people are like hypersexualizing these kids. Like, it just really bothers me that people would draw like weird, gross fetish porn of any of the girls from any of the kids, period. But they do tend to do a lot more with the girls, and you won't have a problem with that. But like, God forbid we give fucking Jiro leg hair. You're ready to like end it all, and it's just really baffling to me how, especially like the adults, like, I hate it when anybody does this, but like the adults specifically, like, y'all don't. It's really telling about what you get mad about. It's all that I'm saying. Okay, so since we already talked about the topic of ships and like the inherent problem with some people when they say some things to people over a ship, this goes out to like the people who are like cis hetero, and like the LGBTQ plus people who are trying so hard to align themselves with cis hetero people. When somebody has a headcanon about somebody when it comes to their sexual orientation or gender identity or such, you cannot tell them that that is not canon, because outside of Ochako and Izuki, nobody else in this show has like any romantic, like hints of romantic relationship with anybody. Like nobody except for Izuki and Ochako have any hinted romantic feelings for anybody else. So if somebody wanted to headcanon Todoroki as gay, they can. If somebody wanted to headcanon Tokoyami as bi, they can. If somebody wanted to headcanon Bakugo as asexual, they can. And you want to know why? Because nobody, except for like 2 characters in this entire show, have any hints of getting into a romantic relationship with anybody. And I think y'all need to understand that, because y'all be really just, once again, y'all be so pressed about somebody what somebody else does in this fandom. It's just like y'all are too worried about something that has nothing to do with you. You don't like that headcanon? Okay, fine. Keep that to yourself and keep it pushing. And another thing, if y'all don't like what people have to say about certain things in the show, like maybe a character you like or the show as a whole, like I don't understand why y'all just don't block people and just keep it pushing. Like it is so easy. Like for me specifically, I don't interact with the Yaktami Yato part of this fandom because it makes me uncomfortable. You know what I do? I literally either block that person that keeps showing up on my For You page on TikTok or anything, any social media account that I'm on, and then I keep it pushing, because if I'm not comfortable with it, I'm just not going to interact with it. Like, it's not as hard as some people might make it out to be. Just block them, keep it pushing. It's not that hard. Just interact with part of fandoms that you want to interact with. Like, we're in 2020, we're this is above us now. Like, come on guys, get it together. Okay, next, the treatment of like women in the My Hero Academia fandom. Now, canonically, how the female characters are treated is they have their moments, but compared to the boys, like almost every fucking form of media known to man, they don't get as many moments to shine. Like, I can name a few moments off the top of my head where like the female characters had their time to like, really, have their moment to their character growth. And like, I just kind of wish they had more, honestly, because it's just like, honestly, I just miss there were more girls in class 1A period, because there are some people in class 1A amongst the boys who like don't deserve to be there, in my opinion. But that's besides the point. I don't know what is like up with the men in this is just anime community period, but just to talk about My Hero specifically. Like, when a woman or a more feminine presenting person cosplays a female characters from the show, y'all expect them to look exactly like that character that they're cosplaying or whatever. And it's just like, you can't expect somebody to do that's a lot. Like, you can't expect somebody to look to the T what the character looks like in the show, because maybe this person is shorter, maybe their skin is a bit paler or a bit darker. Like, it's so many things. You cannot expect that from somebody. And also the weird like hypersexualization of like some people, because I remember this one girl whose TikTok I saw, and she was cosplaying Kami, and she, I guess on the video she said like flash warning. So if you're not a gross human being, you're like, oh, she's gonna have like, she just warned people who might have like epilepsy or something like that, or prone to seizures. Like, okay, she's gonna have like flashing lights for colors. So like, if you're prone to stuff like that, you should probably skip this TikTok. Which is like, okay, so she's warning people that it's gonna be flashing lights or something. And for some reason, like, I guess people in her comments were like, thought she was gonna flash her chest, and I'm like, what possessed you to even like think or say that to somebody? And this is like y'all be acting real out of pocket in people's comments sometimes, and it really baffles me about when y'all do that. And also, it's like y'all are constantly undermining. I Yeah, y'all undermining these female characters, but then y'all seem like unreasonably hateful towards some female characters. And honestly, who I'm talking about specifically in this case is Uraraka, because look, if you don't like Uraraka as a character, or she's not your favorite, that's not the problem here. Because a lot of people have like valid reason as to why they don't really care for Uraraka as a character. Obviously, that's not the problem. The problem here though is that y'all are mad because I guess she wanted to be a hero for financial support, which is like, okay, if you have a career you have a dream career, don't you also want that career to be able to financially support you? Like, so y'all just gonna do this work for little to no money? That's what y'all gonna do? No, you're not. You guys are just misogynistic. Anyways, it just really, like, y'all seem like so unreasonably hateful of Ruka specifically, and it's like, oh my god. And like, I'm not even talking about like the jokes people be making in the fandom, because I'm like, it ain't that serious, but like some of y'all means like y'all like hate her as a character, and it's just like, where did all this energy come from? Because like, I don't really come across a lot of valid criticism when it comes to Uraraka and why people might not like her. Like one one valid criticism I come across is this: it's like at this point in the series, it just feels like she's doing what she's doing for Deku instead of like being inspired by Deku. Like, she can like admire somebody but still have her own character, but it seems like now her whole character just revolves around what would Deku do. And it's like, look, I understand that, but like, that is annoying. And it's just like really telling it, that's just a problem with writing her character. But yeah, it's just like the treatment of the female characters. Now, something else we're gonna be talking about is the whole anime fans, specifically like white ones, claiming certain things that come from other cultures just because they might have heard it in something related to anime. Now, what I'm only talking about specifically is like, it's this audio, and it's a Bakugo's English voice actor talking about saying like, movie extras, and in the background saying that's my best friend, and there's just like this little beat playing in the background, and it's called El Beeper. And it was released around like 97. So, if you know what that song is, you would say like, okay, this is, from the Hispanic community. And it's just really, it's just, I just remember seeing this one person talking about it, and how like people are like dead ass claiming that this is Bakugo's song. I'm like, just because you heard this song from a sound edit does not mean the song solely belongs to Bakugo. How the fuck are you gonna claim something from a community you're not even from your goddamn self? And yes, have I heard the audio before, but also I heard that song, the El Beeper song, from, I first remember hearing it from like the days of Vine. So like, clearly it's been around on the internet for a while. It's just, they really be trying to claim anything that does not belong to them. Like, it just baffles me how people be acting over just dumbest things. Also, another thing that I noticed, and I didn't really pay attention to till somebody brought it up, and I'm like, how like people's usernames, and they might involve like the name of a certain character, and this character might be a minor, and like in the username the thing might be a very sexual thing, and it's just like, that makes me like mad uncomfortable. And it's like, I could do without like this username. Like, you should change that, because that's weird. Yeah, so the racism, the misogyny, the colorism too, and anti-blackness. Once again, like I said before, obviously these problems are not inherently unique to inherently unique to the My Hero Academia fandom. This is just a problem like all around, and it's just at this point, this is kind of like why I just keep my interaction with this fandom to like a medium, because all the shit people be putting people through, all the shit people that go through in this fandom is like not worth it to me. So like, if you're listening to this and you want to watch My Hero, it has its problems, but it is a good show. If you like a show that kind of subverts certain tropes, you would like it. And the characters are good characters. I like most of the people on My Hero Academia. There are a few like I'm indifferent to or I don't care for, but I do like most characters in this show. It's just that when you're going into the fandom, I would just be like super careful about who you interact with and what you, I don't want to say what you should say, because you should be entitled to say what you want, but I just, fuck, it's very hard to explain this. Like, I guess just be careful how you step in this fandom, because people will will literally do all kinds of shit that's just out of pocket just because you say you didn't like, a certain element of the show, or how somebody might have handled a character, or how this character is being treated. Like, just be like very careful about how you, fuck, I don't, how how you interact with this fandom. Just be careful about who you interact with and how you interact with them, because the shit people will do, it will not be worth it in the long run dealing with them. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Sorry once again that it's all over the place and that I sound kind of dry. That's just how my voice sounds. And yeah, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you have a nice day.